A man calling himself Supreme Rockefeller and claiming to be a member of the famous Rockefeller family created a bit of a stir on the internet a few years ago after announcing that the Rockefellers were supposedly launching a plan to fund the building of the Third Temple in Jerusalem in what was called the Temple Now Project. The Third Temple refers to the rebuilding again of Solomon's Temple in Israel, which was originally destroyed in 586 BC by the Babylonians and later rebuilt only to be destroyed again by the Romans in 70 A.D. Christians believe that this temple, when it's rebuilt for the third time, will signify the fulfillment of one of the final Bible prophecies concerning the rise of the Antichrist and the return of Jesus. But currently, a Muslim mosque called the Dome of the Rock stands on the ruin of the temples, and the only way that Solomon's Temple can be rebuilt on this spot is if Israel destroys the mosque and then occupies that part of the land. This is why the, quote, Rockefeller announcement of the supposed plans to rebuild the Third Temple caught so many people's attention. A few official sounding websites that just basically pick up press releases like MarketWire picked up the press release, and that was all that was needed for conspiracy blogs to run with the story that one of the final biblical prophecies was about to be fulfilled thanks to the Rockefellers. None of this was true, however, and Supreme Rockefeller didn't exist, and the man behind the hoax was identified as a high school dropout from Louisiana living with his mother, who he got fired from his job from allegedly stealing and then just started calling himself Supreme Rockefeller online, saying that he was the son, the secret son of David Rockefeller Jr., and he was authorized to finalize the New World Order and, revealed that the Rockefeller family were descendants from the Anunnaki space aliens. Now, of course, the Temple Now hoax was an attempt to receive donations from people who wanted to support this plan, hoping to fulfill Bible prophecy. One press release said that he was working with the Temple Institute, which actually is a real group, a nonprofit organization that is working towards building the Third Temple. And back in 1987, they started doing this. And in 2008, they actually announced that they had the high priest's garments already made with dozens of other items they plan to use in their, quote, sacred rituals once the temple is rebuilt. But of course, Supreme, had nothing to do with this, but cleverly included their name in the press release to kind of add an aura of credibility, since they actually are a real group working to accomplish this very goal. Now, of course, the hoax didn't last too long, but many Jews and Christians continue to await the rebuilding of the temple, an event that will be seen by Christians as one of the Bible's final prophecies being fulfilled, because in this temple, it is believed that the Antichrist will announce himself to be God and declare the people of earth should worship him. Of course, back in the 1970s, the 80s, and the 90s, Illuminati phonies were able to pull off their scams with a remarkable amount of success. But the internet can put an end to most of these scams rather quickly, but many people just simply get lost in the sea of information available on the web. Now, the Supreme Rockefeller Third Temple hoax is actually not the first time that somebody has posed as a member of the infamous Rockefeller family. A man calling himself Clark Rockefeller, whose real name was Christian Gerdharster, was actually sentenced to almost 30 years in prison for murder. And then his plan kind of unraveled itself. But this guy was so slick, he actually duped his wife into thinking that he was a Rockefeller for years. He had her file her own income tax instead of filing it jointly, so that she wouldn't see his name on the tax forms, and he even forged their marriage license so that she wouldn't realize that he wasn't a Rockefeller. And another guy calling himself Christian Rockefeller, whose real name was Christopher Rokencourt, actually swindled tens of millions of dollars out of rich people in New York in the 1990s through fake investment scams after they thought that since he was a Rockefeller, he would be able to increase their wealth. But the Rockefeller plan to rebuild the temple is a hoax, although the very interesting Temple Institute actually has posted a very high-quality video, a bunch of videos, really, predicting their dream of the rebuilding of the temple. And of course, the Freemasons long await the rebuilding of Solomon's temple. And again, according to Bible prophecy, in this temple where in the Old Testament it was said that God lived, and so the Antichrist will just declare himself to be God as they unveil the royal secret, the Illuminati satanic secret. We've had to worship Satan in secret all these thousands of years because those evil Christians were trying to stop us. But now we can finally reveal the truth to you people. That is ultimately what's going to happen. So that's the interesting story of Supreme, or maybe he tried to pronounce it Supreme, but spelling it a little differently. Supreme Rockefeller and the Temple Now Project, rebuilding Solomon's Temple hoax. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're new. Check out some of the previous videos in the playlists. Stay tuned. There's more videos coming soon.